Hello and welcome to this overnight taste challenge. I have two 40% alcohol mezcals, espadin mezcals. This is Xicaru. Company formed in 2011, but I think their first product didn't hit the market till 2013. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but it's been around a while. Well, and it is from the Xicaru independent, from what I've been able to determine. Some products do masquerade as independent when they're not really, but here is Las Tonas, and it's showing independent, but I think I saw it on somebody else's portfolio list, but it could be that they just have a distribution agreement with them, and that is sometimes the case. This is the Umbe, the coyote. We have a lot of coyotes around here. I hear them at night, usually at night, making noise. Even during the daytime, but it's a big pack of them that back there in the woods. And a lot of pets disappear around here, especially stray cats. You wouldn't think a coyote could catch a cat. You can't catch a roadrunner. But now one is aged 2 to 4 months, not too long, but a little aging. It's a Reposado, rested a little bit. And the other one is unaged, Joven, young. They both have wooden caps and the neoprene synthetic rubber stoppers. Same, it's called neoprene, and it's used on the bottom of tennis shoe soles. Spongy rubber, durable, and it's produced by DuPont, a chemical company. All right. They used to produce it here, but in this town, or the next town up the river, but they said they were going to stop doing it and only make it outside the U.S. Apparently, it's very toxic to produce. The product itself is not toxic. Get your hand out of there. What are you, crazy? But the production is scary. I gotta watch the kitten because she'll put her hand in the drink and splash it. That way she can lick it off of her paws. She wants to drink coffee, especially coffee with the eggnog in it. And I have to watch because she's splashed a bunch this morning and then she was licking it. And I don't give her any table food or any table drinks. Only cat food and water because I think that's the best. Get off there. Get down. But she's clever about that. Splash it. But that being said, let's look at the products. One is a little yellowish, but barely so. That's the Xicaru, barely yellow, so that should make a difference. I don't think the aroma and the flavor is going to make much of a difference. The little bit of aging didn't seem to make much of a difference, but I guess other people who are experts would disagree strongly and say you just don't know how to taste it. And that could be true, but it seems the same, really. Xicaru says Fernando Santabanez started it back 2011, 2012, 13, and he apparently is still in control today. Which seems to be common for mezcal, and aged in used oak, American oak. Don't know what kind of oak. Could be wine, bourbon, other whiskey. They don't say. Brandy. Who knows? We don't know. They're not saying. It just says medium toasted American oak barrels. I mean, that could be. So it's charred, but really toasted, like barely, just like you barely brown some toast. The tones, the colors. It's got that color wheel, and it's no aging, espadin, agave. It says 38% alcohol. Well, that's for the Mexican market, but U.S. market, it would have to be at least 40% to comply as a liquor. So, as an official liquor. So they upped the ABV for the U.S. market. I bought brandy in Mexico, and I got home, and it was 35% alcohol, and I was like, "What is this?" Didn't comply, but I bought it in Mexico, you see, and I brought it across. Thought I was being clever. I saved any money, first of all. because I had to pay this Texas importation liquor tax. Didn't know that was part of it. Found out it was. So the little pocket change I saved went right back into the tax. Let's see, make sure it's 40. I know it's 40%. Says it somewhere. Yeah, right there, 40%. Other countries don't have the same rules. You can buy bourbon in New Zealand, it's 38% alcohol. Definitely would not be allowed in the US. I mean, you could sell it. You would just have to call it like a bourbon style product or something else, whiskey, a grain distillate product. I'm not interested in that. Now the newspaper comes. I was hoping to read it before this. I'm going to see if I can find out who owns Las Tonas. And like I said, they may not own it. They might just have an agreement with them. Who owns Las Tonas? See if I can get a search on that. Defer. And Defer is the parent company, they're saying, but I don't think they have a website. Mexican family-owned distillery. Try one more time. Defer. Yeah, there's nothing. There's Devour. Something. I don't know what Devour is. Okay. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Okay. I did see Las Tonas listed on somebody's website. It might have been Pernod Ricard or somebody. There's so many, you know. You can't. It's hard to keep up. It's like William Grant and Sons. They got so many brands, but then, like for instance, that 3 Barrels brandy that they call it in England. Over here, it's called Reynal brandy, French brandy. They say on the bottle it says a family-owned distillery in Cognac, France. I don't know why it's not called cognac. There's some step in the process where it doesn't qualify as cognac, and it might be because they're using some grapes outside of the region because they like the flavors. But they did say it was a family-owned distillery back to 1814. Sorry, I almost said 1914. I am going to need to close my eyes because I looked down and I did see that yellowish color, yellowish tint. And I think that the family, Reynal family, just made an agreement with William Grant and Sons to kind of come under their umbrella, because otherwise their stuff doesn't find its way on the shelves. But I see it on the shelves at Trader Joe's, Total Wine and More, I think some other places. Not widespread. Now, if you go to England, the #1 selling brandy apparently is 3 Barrels, replicating 3 stars, or yeah, type VS brandy, basic brandy. Oh well. It just smells like agave, meaning like that bell pepper aroma, I guess. This one has a more pronounced aroma, so that's making me think it's probably got the little age on it, and it might be the Xicaru. They're about the same price, so you're not really saving anything one versus the other. About $30. It may be $1 less, $1 more, $2 less, $2 more, but I don't think it's much different than that. There's not much range. Maybe a $4 range, and that's questionable. Never seen these in this town. But if I ever go back to those 2 liquor stores over here, and I might, but I don't have any reason to at the moment. I might check them out. I don't know. I'm hesitant, but they for various reasons. But they might have them. I don't know if those 2 stores are going to even make it, because all the grocery stores here sell liquor, so why make an extra trip to a liquor store? But it does seem to have business. Every time I drive by there, it does seem to have people there. And the other one sells gasoline, and it's like a convenience store, so It's really a liquor store masquerading as a convenience store, but I guess they have business. They tried they tried two other liquor stores here, and they both flopped. They lasted a while, but they couldn't make it, and I think it's because of that reason. They were pretty nice stores, but just not. This is not a good area for it. For the reason I stated, you can go to a convenience store and buy liquor. You can go to a gas station and buy liquor here. There's a drive-through daiquiri shop here, drive-through. But they don't hand you an open container. They give you a daiquiri with the straw in it, but it's still got a paper. There's paper on top of the straw. They didn't tear all the paper off, so they're saying, well, it's not open. It's still covered. Not exactly the spirit of the law, but if you get stopped, they're not going to do anything to you because they're not going to, the state of Louisiana is not going to go after drive-through liquor stores. Too much revenue on that, tax revenue. Now, if you take the paper off before you get home and start sipping on that, that's on you. The daiquiri shop's going to say, we didn't tell them to do that. I know there's a drive-through daiquiri shop in Jefferson, Louisiana. Here, well, they're all around. Okay. And I would not want to drink a daiquiri. That's like a pureed snow cone with booze in it. It's too sweet and sugary. Ugh. I see a lot of women drinking them, especially women. I'm not trying to do or say anything. It's just what I've noticed. I don't hear a lot of men saying, let's go get daiquiris, although I'm sure there are many. But I hear a lot of women saying, can't wait to get off work and get a daiquiri. Like somebody said one time, if you think the beer is great, then it's the best beer, right? Whatever you think is the best beer is the best beer because you're the one drinking it. And you can't argue with that. How can you argue with that? I know some people think Miller Lite's the best beer, like next door. Love it. Now, see, I wouldn't think that's too special, but I'm not them. They're not me. And they certainly like it. Medium body, both have a dry finish, but they're both sugary in the flavor. And I've noticed this about mezcals and tequilas and rum and brandy and whiskey. They're very sugary. And I know people are going to say, no, the sugar turns into alcohol, fool. I know that, but they still taste sugary. I know what I'm tasting. I know what sweetness tastes like. I put sugar in my first cup of coffee. I don't put it in the second two. They don't taste the same. The sweetness, sometimes the sugar will bring out flavors in the coffee, but I know what that sweet taste is like. And it's a lot better than artificial sweetener, which to me is ghastly. And I'll tell you, when I see stuff with artificial sweetener these days, I just put it back on the shelf. I'm not buying it. Now, I might accidentally buy it because I didn't notice it, but I certainly wouldn't repurchase it. I don't mess with that stuff. I hate it. I'm not saying it's bad for you, although it probably is, but I just hate the flavor. It's nasty. Sugar is cane sugar. I can deal with that. I saw a truck of cane sugar refuse on Friday. I think it was Friday. Big old truck with a big basket on the back. It's not like it's an 18-wheeler, but it's like a big basket, and it's got all the sugarcane stalks in it after they squeezed the sugar out. And they were heading up the road, up the highway, northbound on US 61. Don't know what they're doing with it, but they don't waste it. They don't waste any sugarcane byproducts. The molasses is turned into rum. The stalks are used to make all kind of products, such as particle board that they use for siding on houses. Yep. And it's pretty durable stuff. We used to have that on our house, the older house. Well, it's actually newer than this house, but it was a house that my father and mother had bought. And all those houses back there used that siding. And many of them have never changed it. It's 60 years old, still up there, durable. So that's telling you something about sugarcane stalks. Those fibers are amazing. But when they start fermenting out in the sun, it smells so bad. And there'll be flies all over it. It just has a bad, rancid smell. But we used to hold our nose, bagasse, because it's called bagasse, which to me is like bad gas. a bad smell. All right, so this tastes like the Las Tonas. I think this is the Xicaru because of the aging. Is there much of a difference? Not really. This one has a little bit more vegetable flavor. This one has a little bit more sugar flavor. The availability is about the same around here, and I can't speak for your area. And price is about the same, running around $30 a bottle, which is what I paid. So I'm saying this is a Xicaru. I hope I'm right. It's the Las Tonas. Am I shocked? I'm definitely not shocked, because I said all along that I'd be surprised if I didn't get it wrong half the time with these, because they're all so similar one to another. If you ask me what class of liquor so far have you noticed that smells and tastes practically the same every time you try it, and I would say aside from the Lajita and the Monte Alban, well, they're all about the same. So you might just want to shop price. Cheers, Jay. Clink in the mug, says Brian Carpenter. Cheers to you, Brian. Well, I'm going to go turn on the news and see what they're talking about. And y'all take care. We'll try to do Wednesday. I'm probably going to do Wednesdays for today. Because of it's better for scheduling in my case. All right. Take care, everybody. The winner is, I don't know. They're both the winner. I'm not the winner. I got it wrong.